Kamikaze!
All right, guys, we're here with Chrispy from Osaka Punch. We've got a few things to talk about. Firstly, I'd like to welcome you, Chrispy, and thank you for coming along.
Thanks, Corey. It's great to be here, man.
No worries. Great to have you here. So, like I said before, we've got a few things to talk about. Firstly, probably being the new tour that we're going on. You've got the new tour and the new album. Launching the new tour on Friday with that kick-ass show at the Triffid. How do you feel after having such an awesome response going into this crazy new tour, and how it's all feeling going from there? It's all still pretty fresh, I'm sure, after the long weekend.
Yeah, man, it's I'm still recovering from it, to be honest. So, but yeah, it was excellent. Like, I don't think there could have been a better way to kind of kick everything off. Obviously got the hometown advantage there, but yeah, it was a really great night, and definitely made us feel like we all the prep that's gone into it seems to have paid off. So yeah, it felt good.
Yeah, it's obviously been coming for a long time. There's been songs being released for the last few years, teasing us. They've all been great. You've got a really solid run of shows coming up. If you look at the towns and cities that you're going to, some rural, some here. You're doing two towns most weekends for the next couple of months. You guys are booked out. Like, that's some pretty solid touring. Are there any shows you're really looking forward to, or like places you haven't been that you're really like excited for?
Yeah, man. So actually heading up north from here, going to Townsville and Cairns is going to be really fun, for a couple of reasons. Like, Reggie, our bass player, is from Townsville, so it's kind of like almost like a homecoming for him to go there. And it's been like a really long time since we played there, and so we're really looking forward to getting back there. Yeah, 2018 was the last time we played in Townsville. And Cairns, yeah, it's been, I don't even think we've actually played in Cairns properly. So, and too, because Jack and myself we kind of grew up in that area, so we're sort of like going back, and we've got,
Yeah,
some cool far north Queensland vibes to bring back. So yeah, looking forward to that.
I'm actually a Cairns boy myself, and lived in Townsville for the last 3-4 years before moving down to Brisbane.
Oh, nice.
And I've teed up all the crews up there to make sure they come to your show. You got to be
legend.
There. And it's rare for cool bands to head up that way. Like, it's not super rare, but like, it's when you actually get cool bands touring and deciding to make it all the way out the top, that's a really cool thing.
Yeah. Appreciate that, man.
Appreciate having a cool show. Congratulations on the new album. It's killer. It's been on rotation.
Thanks, bro.
And not just from myself, I can see, like, watching the Facebook and the Instagram stories, everyone's blasting it, everyone's tagging you guys, and it seems to have a really awesome response. Another thing I really want to kind of ask about, and like just show my appreciation for, is all the vinyl that you guys have put out with that, like, and all the different types of vinyl. Was there a certain person that had the idea to throw out vinyl, and even to like do a bunch of different runs and make it really cool like you guys have?
Yeah, I guess like Reggie and myself are, you know, vinyl junkies. So we and Blair as well to a certain extent. But so we were like, you know, from the get-go, there was no question that this new record was gonna get a vinyl release, and it's the first time we've released music on vinyl, and so it's really special for us to be able to do that. And we sort of always knew that we wanted to do it. The logistics behind it were always a little bit unknown because it's a pretty big undertaking, and that's where Alex and Sean from Stiff Cut Records and the Dream Division sort of came into the fold. And Alex has sort of been in contact with us over the years, even from like his very humble beginnings where he was like hand cutting records, like with a lathe, like in his kind of like garage and stuff. And he was always like, he would always check in with us and be like, oh, you know, if you guys ever want to do a release, like let me know. And it wasn't until the release was sort of shaping up to being finished and all that sort of stuff that he sort of touched base again with Jack, I think. And we hadn't realized that he actually had like a really awesome operation going on with Stiff Cut. And we got the conversation going, and he sort of showed us some examples of the pressings that he'd done, and we were just like, what? So and he was just up for it. He was like, yeah, let's do, you know, how many variants do you want to do? And do you want to do a tour exclusive? And, you know, I do these liquid filled ones and all this sort of stuff. And we were just like, yeah, let's do it. So Alex and Sean, they really spearheaded that, and they like organized like the pressing of it and everything. And it went so smoothly. But yeah, we couldn't be happier with how it's turned out. And we're so stoked that it's gotten such a great response as well. So yeah, it's literally a dream come true to be able to do that and to be able to offer that for people to experience the record, because we wanted it to be like a listening experience where you sort of like chuck it on and kind of listen to it through the whole way. And I feel like, you know, things like streaming platforms and stuff like that don't really lend themselves to that too much. It's kind of more of a playlist sort of style listening environment, whereas having a physical record that you have to kind of purposefully put on and, you know, drop the needle and all that sort of stuff, it's like you strap yourself in and you're ready. And that's how we really wanted people to experience it. So yeah, couldn't be happier, man.
Yeah, you get that a lot nowadays with bands. They just kind of throw all their songs on the album and it doesn't flow as you think it should, because I suppose they're just thinking like, we'll chuck it on Spotify and people will play what they like. Whereas in the old days, you put it on and it was like, it had to flow into like heavy song, into a ballad, into this, and it was all strategically planned. You had to finish side A to flip it and make it feel like it had an end and a middle. And I guess it's a good thing too. Like you think 5 to 10 years ago, the idea of being able to even press a record was just like pretty much unfathomable. Thanks to it kind of trending again, we get to like do these cool things. I'm stoked with it because I'm a bit of a record head as well. So like the fact that people can actually put their music on records is super cool. The tour you guys did earlier this year was the Crimpology tour, and you guys wrote your own crimp, but not only a crimp, it was like an extended mega crimp that was like a double, triple length feature. I just want to commend you on that, because I can't even imagine where to start writing that and how you'd even do that. Did you find that as a like kind of harrowing experience, or did you guys just kind of bounce off each other and like kind of get it down quicker than even writing a song? Like how did that all work?
So I'm pretty sure like what So we test the waters with the crimp like a few years ago, where I think the guys were doing um they were actually doing like boosh like lines and stuff like that, and just kind of like, for anyone who doesn't know what it is, it's a mighty boosh thing. So, we basically just, took their idea and ran with it. And not many people know what a crimp is, and people often refer to it as just like a spoken word rap or whatever, and it kind of is that, but yeah, it's a crimp. And I think, yeah, there was like a conscious effort. It was like, well, this is going down pretty well, so let's not just completely rip these guys and like word for word, and let's write our own crimp.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it was a collaborative effort, but yeah, it was definitely, the melding of the minds on that one, and like sort of went through various iterations and all that sort of stuff, and came to be the form that it is now. And yeah, it's just like, it's such a cool thing to do in the show, to just kind of like throw it out there and just kind of, it's either going to go down really well, or people it's just going to be like, what the fuck is this shit? So
I think when I was in the crowd, I kind of went off my nut a little bit when you guys started doing it, and the lady next to me was kind of looking at me like, what the fuck is going on? And I was like, it's all good.
That's the reaction we want, man. We want like we definitely want that 50-50 split of people who like know what it is and are like totally behind it, and everyone else being like, I'm confused.
Yeah, there's 100% no middle ground, no grey area.
No.
A little while back, we had Dave Brown, who plays Bolo, and obviously a bunch of other characters on the Boosh come to Australia, and I got to interview him. And they actually told me,
really?
you guys did the Crimpology tour and did your own crimp, and he had the biggest chuckle about it. He thought
really?
It was great.
Oh, that's sick,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, it was
nice.
Yeah, he had a good old laugh. We'll get on to Blair now. He's only been in the band for a short while, but he fits so well with you guys. It feels like he's been a part of the furniture forever. Like he's meant to be there. Are there any major noticeable differences, whether it be on stage or in the recording studio, like a shot in the arm or in a different direction that he brings you guys in, that you can notice or feel?
Yeah, definitely, man. Like, I mean, I always had like a special relationship with Dane, our previous drummer, and all that sort of stuff. And he, Dane had this like natural raw kind of talent that it just oozed out of him, and it's almost like he couldn't, for want of a better term, like he couldn't really control it, like, or tap into it sort of thing. So he just kind of, when he sat behind the drums, it was just like, it would just come out, and it would be amazing, but like it might not have always been the same every time, sort of thing. Whereas with Blair, he has that as well, but he's very much into like composition and stuff like that. So for us, we really enjoy the spontaneity, but we're very structured as well at the same time. So the only thing I can say is that he's just so prepared, like, and we often joke that he's like the best musician in the band, because we always know that when we rock up to a rehearsal that he's like practiced for hours and just has it down. And then it's like, here I am, just like my eyeballs hanging out of my head, like, oh, I've had a big day at work, and I didn't really like run through those parts like I should have. And it's like he's just like all over it. So
sitting there like a metronome while you guys work out the parts. And
oh, bro, 100%. So but like he is like an absolute weapon, like as a songwriter as well. So he's already like written like a bunch of songs that will be on our next record, which just like completely fit in with our sound. And it's just like, what? How did you do that? And it's amazing. Like he wrote all the guitars and all this sort of stuff, and he's like a riff machine. So yeah, we're just blown away. We're like, oh, how is it even possible that it was like it was meant to be? Like this dude just has the same aesthetics and the same writing style, and yeah, not only can he nail like all the previously recorded drum parts that Dane did, but yeah, on the newer stuff, he just brought his own thing to it, and yeah, just like such a great writer, man. So yeah, that's kind of how he came about and what he brings to the table, and very excited for what the future holds, because he sort of came into this like halfway through. So it's kind of a bit of a 50-50 split, well, it's more of a 60-40, but yeah, the next stuff that we do as a collaboration between all of us is just, I'm very excited about how it's going to turn out.
Yeah, I'm sure you are, and all of us as well. That actually segued perfectly into the next question, because you've had all these songs for the last few years come out and not really have a home to put them to, and you've added them to this album. It's about a 50-50 split of like the older songs that everybody knows and loves and has listened to for the last couple of years, and then you got your newer ones. That was the next question was going to be, how are we looking for more of the newer songs? Because after I've had that little taste, I know I want more. I don't like the old songs. I still play it cover to cover, but it's like I still want, like, especially with like how the direction's going, where it's kind of going a bit more like sleazy and funky and funny and going down that vibe again. How are we looking in the with the new song front? Are we thinking like a Stone Sour vibe where they bring 2 albums out, one every year, or are we gonna probably have to wait a little bit longer for the other album, or will we get?
Oh man,
soon?
like potentially, like I don't think we'll do anything. Like obviously we'll just be touring pretty hard for the rest of this year, and we don't have any solid plans for shows for next year, but we might try and hit a few places that we have been meaning to get to, especially on the last 2 tours that we couldn't get to. So we'll probably do like a small run of shows, and then I think once that's done, yeah, the plan is definitely to kind of like knuckle down and just get some more stuff done. And yeah, all I can say is it's more of everything. So it's heavier than anything we've ever done before, and there's some super funky stuff as well. So yeah, we'll continue in that direction, and I think it was a conscious decision to kind of like try and bring back a little bit more of the sort of funky, quirky, heavy stuff that we did. I feel like with Death Monster Super Squad, we really went down this kind of more like streamlined sort of pop vibe on that record, and yeah, with Mixed Ape, it was like, nah, let's stick to our guns. Let's let's bring some of the earlier influences back, and just do what we love. Let's not try and be something we're not, sort of thing. And I think the plan is to just continue on that trajectory. So yeah, and songs like Simulate and stuff like that were pretty big deviations from what we've done before, but it's gotten such a great response. It's sort of gives us the confidence that we can continue to sort of experiment in that realm as well, in a really melodic sense, as well as things like Heckle and Jive, where we just go crazy. So it's like, yeah, let's just keep it going. So
match out the instrumental bookends.
yeah, man.
So from Voodoo Love Machine to Death Monster Super Squad, now Mixed Ape. It feels like to me you guys are painting the scene for like a late 80s, early 90s, like action cartoon, think like Ninja Turtles, something like that, or like a comic book. Has there ever been like an idea or a plan to kind of do like a graphic cartoon or graphic novel for like the Osaka Punch band and have all these creatures fight each other, or they're like different clans?
There's definitely been talk of that. So you may have just hit the nail on the head there. So
I kind of got
yeah,
the idea a few years back with those little cards that you guys were giving out, and they had all the different monsters in them. And I was like, I feel
yeah.
like these are going to be all the different albums, and they're going to like collide into a big like end game style thing. I was just like, I've kind of had that niggling for so long. I kind of wanted an answer, and I'm sorry if I just spoiled that for you guys, but
No, no, no. I mean, like it's definitely something that we've spoke about, and yeah, there's nothing like 100% set in stone at the moment, but I can confirm that if we were to do it, it would be with our existing artist, Jordan Larissa, who has done everything from Voodoo Love Machine all the way through to Mixed Ape. And yeah, we've had some conversations with him, and it's looking good. So let's just say that.
big props to Jordan too. The artwork is
Oh,
amazing. So
chef's kiss, man.
it like I need like a coffee table book with just all the pictures, and you just sit there and look at it.
Yeah. Actually, do yourself a favor, follow him on Instagram if you aren't already,
Will do.
because yeah, his Insta page is ridiculous. So yeah,
Oh,
lots of content.
that's cool. I can't wait.
Yeah.
When it comes to your music videos, you guys never seem to disappoint. They're always entertaining. They've always like cover to cover. There's no boring bits. There's something going on in every bit. Um, there was a certain Easter egg for a while there in each one, and it's gone missing. I was wondering if there's ever going to be a resurgence of said Easter egg, or if he has a successor in mind for further videos.
Did you see it in the cover art by any chance?
Yeah, I pointed it out and lost it. But yes, I heard a rumor that
Yes.
it got lost, and I was wondering if maybe there would be like yeah a a, a second coming.
I feel like we might have to, you know.
Yeah.
I think in one way, shape, or form, there'll be some kind of reference to it, just to keep it lighthearted, you know.
Um, and in regards to that, with all your music videos, can you look back on a time or a memory in filming or a place or any part of that you look back on regularly and just chuckle? Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be a favorite part of the video, but just the process of either thinking up the ideas or filming or editing or the first time you watched it all together. Like, is there a moment that just makes you think back and laugh?
Yeah, yeah, there's definitely definitely moments. I feel like yeah, there was some really fun stuff in drones that was just kind of really well thought of and kind of um executed in that one. So yeah, that always gives me a chuckle. And um yeah, doing the Stonk film clip as well, in the Brisbane CBD,
Yeah.
was the most awkward fucking thing, and yeah, and it was just such a strange experience. But it turned out well. But man, I reckon Jack has got to take the cake for the Make the Call film clip.
Yeah.
So that I don't think anything I've ever done will top that. Although I did have a lot of fun with Kamikaze because
Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting. Like it's sort of like certain members sort of take the back seat in certain clips and stuff like that. And yeah, the guys just like fully wrote me into this one, and I was just like, all right, here we go.
You did an amazing.
Yeah.
It's great.
Thanks, man.
So thank you again so much for taking the time out of your night to have a chat with me. For all those of you at home having a listen, if you haven't yet been to a show, you're missing out. You need to get to one. And there's a hell of a lot of them that you can get out there and see with this. Check out all their Instas, all their socials. It's posted everywhere. They do an awesome job at marketing. And for those of you that have seen a show, go and watch another one. You know you want it. Thank you again so much, Chrispy. I cannot thank you enough. This has been awesome.
Thanks, Corey. Thanks, dude. And thanks to Heavy Mag as well, man. Chris is an absolute legend, and it was lovely to meet you the other night at the show as well. So thank you so much for being champions for our band. We really do appreciate that. And it goes a long way, man. So we really do appreciate it.
Thank you so much, man. You have a good night, eh?
Well, you too, man. Take care.